We welcome you back to the WFCN News Game of the Week. This is the John A. Logan College Why Would You Go Anywhere Else halftime show. We're here at the half, and the Rangers currently holding a 12-0 lead over the West Frankfort Redbirds as we prepare for the second half of action here at Johnson Field. I'm Aaron Price, once again joined alongside Garrett Smith. And Garrett, we've seen a lot of action so far in this game, but Benton so far coming ahead as we move into the second half. Some plays that have stood out to you with our Kemper CPA by the numbers.
Yeah, Aaron, obviously, the scoring plays we'll go over real quick. Benton got on the board with a 7-yard run from Drake Porter. Two-pointer was no good. It was 6-0 when that score at 4:42 to go in the first, and then 12-zip touchdown in the second quarter at 9:52 mark. 29-yard run from Riley Spencer, and that was that acrobatic play that he had tightrope in the sidelines, shedding a bunch of tacklers. Looked like he was wrapped up, looked like he was down, evaded all of them, and was able to score a touchdown for the Benton Rangers. That got them to 12 nothing. And obviously, a couple of interceptions in there. Kobe Calli with a nice interception for the Rangers. Chase Bennett with a nice interception for the Redbirds. We had a nice onside kick from the Rangers that was recovered. Another interception from both sides. I mean, a lot of action
Yeah.
in the first half. Honestly, surprised it's only 12 nothing. Could be a much different score right now. Could be a lot more points for the Rangers. Could be a lot more points for the Redbirds. But it's 12 zip. Still a good game. Still within striking distance for West Frankfort, and both teams looking to get it going in the second half. Benton will start with the football and looking to get this to a three-score lead because a couple of two-pointers unsuccessful. It's really right there for the taking for Frankfort if they could get a good offensive possession going. But Benton Rangers have controlled Frankfort's offense to this point. Even when Frankfort does move the football, they've been halted by turnovers. And same thing could be said for Benton, but they do have some big plays and some third down conversions. That's been the difference to this point.
Yeah. Yeah, we're working on getting a new camera set up here. We had some issues with our other one, but we should be back good to go here. Again, this is the Johnny Logan College Why Would You Go Anywhere Else halftime show. Uh, you know, this is obviously Saturday afternoon, Garrett, but we've already seen quite a bit of football played across the region last night. We had, I mentioned in the pregame show, I was down at Marion last night, and man, that was a very entertaining game as the Wildcats took on Collinsville, and they ended up getting the win in that game over Collinsville on homecoming. A really crucial win for the Wildcats last night on their own home turf, and then they're going to move on to play, I believe it is Mattoon in the Week 9 game, and then Carbondale this coming week. You want to go ahead and recap for those that weren't here during the pregame show some of the other finals we've had from across the region so far this week?
Sure, why not? Teams that are undefeated that kept marching forward. We mentioned Johnston City 44-6 over Hamilton County, and Carterville 50-7 over Massac County. They both stay unbeaten at 7-0. Some teams in the region getting to 6 wins that makes them playoff, not playoff eligible. They already are that with 5 wins, but that locks them in a playoff spot with their sixth victory. That's Cahokia 40-8 over Centralia. Also, Flora 28-20 over Fairfield, and DuQuoin 48-13 over AJ. So those three schools will be in the postseason. Other scores in the Black Diamond: CZR 48-14 over Carmi. That's a fourth win for Coach Mike Root and his Bearcats. Another win, and they're playoff eligible. Sesser 54-7 over Edwards County. That was a Thursday night contest. Fifth win for the Red Devils after a rocky start. They're 5-2. Nashville 55-7 over Pinckneyville. They get to 5 wins. They've looked pretty stout, especially as of late. The Hornets playoff eligible. Carbondale 52-14 over Herrin. Murphy 40-21 over Harrisburg. Mount Vernon 62-6 over Granite City. And Aaron, you mentioned 48-35. That's Marion's final over Collinsville. El Dorado Red Hill, they are the other game going on here today, in addition to our Redbirds and Rangers contest. And right now it's Red Hill in the lead, 16-8 in quarter two over El Dorado.
All right. Thank you, Garrett, for that recap of games across the region. Just about to get back underway here at Johnston Field. Still waiting to see what the status is on a couple Redbirds that suffered some injuries in the first half. Jace Bennett was brought out of the game due to an injury. Quentin Osborne was brought out of the game due to an injury. You have
Well,
eyes on either of them,
well,
Garrett?
Jace Bennett's back out
He's
there.
back. That's good.
Lucas Parker was the big one for West Frankfort in their offense, and obviously we don't want to speculate on anyone's status. So we'll play it by ear and by eye, and it looks like Quentin Osborne and Lucas Parker both done for the day. They're both out of uniform on Frankfurt's sideline. But Jace Bennett back out there. You've not seen anything other than maybe a couple Rangers shaken up, so it's good for them. They've stayed relatively healthy, knock on wood, as they did in the first half.
12-0 Rangers with the lead here, and they will receive the ball to begin the second half. If you're just joining us once again, I'm Aaron Price, joined alongside Garrett Smith. This is the WFCN Game of the Week, powered by the Swinford Media Group.
Benton going to start with the football. Redbirds to kick off. Caught around the 20-yard line by Calai. Flags thrown in from all over.
Yeah, a lot of lottery on the field right now, Garrett.
Typically, that's a hold on the receiving team. Right on cue, that's what it is. Kickoff returns, it's pretty hard for the team kicking off to get a penalty. So that'll back Benton up a little bit. Just underway second half. 7 seconds off the timer there on that kickoff. Looks like they've got him setting up at the 30. That's where Benton will start. First possession of the second half with a 12-0 lead. They go back to Riley Spencer. Into the trenches and brought down, a gain of a couple. Second down coming for Benton. Second and 8.
Here's the snap.
Porter toss out to Calai. Couple of DBs there, but Calai's breaking free, and he's got a big first down nearing midfield down around the 45-yard line. He has been the number one option through the air for the quarterback. That's Kobe Calai. He's really impressed. Quick foot speed, and he gets another big first down.
5'11" senior has been a crucial player for the Rangers offense this season. Hands
Spencer.
Off. Yep.
Keeps turning forward. A good first down carry. Nice gain. Approaching first down, the first down marker, but it'll be second and about 3. Maybe, well, they've got it second and 2. As they cross midfield.
Rangers tried to make the Redbirds jump.
Spencer powers forward. Looks like he might have had the first down yardage. Right at the line to gain. It'll be a first down Benton Rangers at the 45. Good start for the Rangers on this drive.
And they got the ball at the 45-yard line. That's where it'll be first and 10 once again. And here's the snap. Porter keeping it himself.
And he sheds the tackler down the sideline. Porter pushed out around the 20-yard line. Another first down. Benton Rangers. They are moving on this first possession of the second half. He is a weapon for Benton's offense on the ground and through the air. So you have to play true to both factors. You don't know what he's going to do. And he keeps it there. Redbird defender had a chance to wrap him up at the feet, and they could not get him, so he gets the big gain.
Hands off to Spencer once again, still on his feet, and brought down.
Another good first down
Yeah.
carry. Got over half the yardage. $8:55 to go, third quarter.
Hands off to Spencer once again, and he's brought down
Yeah, it
pretty
looked like he
quickly.
was going to lose yards. He actually was able to power forward and pick up some yards. So third and short coming for Benton.
Eli Tripp on the tackle for the Redbirds. Third and just 2 yards to go for the Rangers on the 15-yard line. Here's the snap. Porter keeping it himself.
He's going to score.
That's a touchdown for the Benton Rangers, their third of the day. And they take an 18-0 lead over the Redbirds here to start the third quarter. Porter on the quarterback keeper.
15 yards out. Another good decision from Porter on one of those option plays. He keeps it, and he does the rest. His lineman did a really good job there opening up a seam, and there was a lot of green grass and no red in front of him.
Rangers setting up for the extra point. And no good, they'll say.
Wide left.
Yep. So it'll remain 18-0. Take a very brief break. We'll be right back. You're watching the WFCN Game of the Week here on the Swinford Media Group. We're going to keep it here as it will be a short timeout. 8 minutes, 7 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Ben Rangers holding an 18-0 lead now over the West Frankfort Redbirds. Here we mentioned in the pregame show, this is a rivalry that goes back many, many, many years here in Southern Illinois, over 100 years. And not too often you see something last over 100 years, but it's still going.
Yeah, I mean, goes without saying that these are two communities that uh, really go at each other's throats when it comes to athletics and all, good sportsmanship about it too. We've had a good football game here today, and a couple of teams that really want to beat up on each other, and it's good that they've done it the right way. It's a little bit of chippiness, but nothing that you don't see in a football game anyway. So it's a good atmosphere. It always is when it's Rangers and Redbirds. But Aaron, this is what we saw was a possibility was, how is Frankfort going to do against a good defense? And they struggled against a Nashville defense that was really well disciplined and had athletes on the field. And today, yet to score, and you can't win if you can't score. And Frankfort's got to find a way into the end zone to get back into this thing. And trailing now by 3 scores with 7:50 to go in the third.
Flag on the field.
That one came in late, so it looks like it might be a personal foul, and it is on the defense against Benton.
Looks like the penalty will be on the Rangers, so that'll move the Redbirds up to the 40-yard line. That's where they'll be 1st and 10. Here's the snap. Keeps it himself.
Peyton Allen.
Still on his feet. Brought down just shy of the 45-yard line. It'll be about a 4 or 5-yard gain.
Drop behind the line. Maybe a loss of a yard. Patterson loses one. Third and 6. Like the Redbirds have been in a lot of third down situations, not converted on a whole lot. They need one here. Toss out to the left. Nowhere to go. Wrapped up quickly is Parker Allen. And a flag on the far side of the field. Still awaiting the word. And they'll pick the flag up. No penalty. It'll be a result. Is a first down for West Frankfort.
6:33 to go in this third quarter. Ball on the 50-yard line.
Here goes Sample. Spins off a defender and dropped after crossing midfield. About the 46.
Second and 6 now on the gain of 4 by the Redbirds. Here's the snap, whistle, and a flag on the field.
It's going to be a false start on West Frankfort. So second and 6 turns into second and 11.
5 yards. You just gained 4 or 5 yards, moves you back, and you lose a yard. Second and 11 now for the Redbirds
Lose a yard
on the 49-yard line.
Yeah, from the original spot, you lose a yard and a down. So now instead of first and 10, fresh change, you got second and 11.
Right.
You got to make that up in one less play.
There's the snap.
Peyton Allen looking
throw.
deep. Has Osborne. It's over or Hefner rather, who was banged up earlier. He's back out there and it's just out of his reach. And
Yep.
that's what we've seen from Frankfort quarterbacks. They've just thrown it a step or two ahead of the receivers. 3rd and 11. Big play. Benton fans up on their feet, looking for another stop, trying to keep pitching this shutout.
And here's the snap. Big throw.
Oh, he's got Parker Allen. Allen to Allen connection. First down.
Big first down for the Redbirds. They needed that one. Ball be spotted at the 40-yard line. Yeah, the Parker and Peyton Allen brothers working on both ends of the ball. Five minutes to go in this third quarter.
Another connection to Parker Allen. Knocked out at the 30-yard line. Looks like another first down for West Frankfort.
Yeah, I'd say, Garrett, it's got to help when you're thrown to your brother. You know, you think there's anything that kind of helps out that since they're actually blood related?
They probably know what they're going to do. I mean, they
Right,
probably
I would
know
assume.
they know their tendencies and
Yeah,
probably know what types of what they're capable of. So it definitely doesn't hurt.
no. Hands off. Bennett brought down quickly.
We've got a flag coming in late. It's going to be a 15-yarder, unsportsmanlike on West Frankfort. Now he was upset. He thought he was going to draw a flag on the tackler, but it doesn't work. Then I mean, you can't go and try to you know
Right.
make your pitch for it because then you might
End up with
well
that.
end up with what happened.
Yeah.
Second and a long way, and the
Yeah.
Ranger Nation back on their feet. That pass is deflected, incomplete, third down.
Redbirds running out of opportunities late in this game. 4 minutes to go. And the Rangers holding an 18-0 lead. Set up on the 50, so yeah, you're definitely going to have to punt. Huge fourth down. No way you can run that. High snap. Here's the punt.
Another good punt. Oh, and that it looked like it touched a Ranger and went into the end zone. That could have been disastrous
Yeah,
for
that could
Benton.
have.
Not sure how a Redbird didn't jump on it. Looked like they had the first path to it.
Not a gain a bunch on that, if any. Maybe a yard. Second and 9.
Spencer, nowhere to go. Third and long for Benton, and I will say this is a must stop if you're West Frankfort. Time is bleeding down, and we're getting close to the fourth quarter, down 3 scores. This is a must stop if you're West Frankfort.
Yeah. .241 to go in this third quarter. 7 yards to go for the Rangers. Here's the snap. Porter looking for a man.
Oh,
Big
wide
toss.
open is Cali, and he's got it. Got across the 50 to the 40, and he's dropped inside the 35.
Not the first time we've seen that play today by Cali.
A third and long conversion yet again.
Almost an exact repeat of the play we saw in the first half, where Porter connected with Cali. Brought down right around the same area, too. 2:28 to go in this third quarter. First and 10, Rangers. Yeah, you're right, Garrett. The Redbirds, they needed that stop, but going the Rangers' way with 2 minutes. Snap to Porter. Still on his feet, keeping it himself, and brought down shy of the 30-yard line,
You
or the
got
20, I should say.
you got to get to him quick because he really accelerates when he's got some space, and he does it again there.
So another first down for the Benton Rangers. Rangers looking to put the nail in the coffin if they can get a touchdown here.
Oh, that would, yeah, it already is a steep hill to climb for Frankfort, but yeah, you do another one here if you can get in the end zone. Ben can start tasting this one.
Snap to hand off to Spencer, and he's brought down quickly by a flock of Redbirds around the 20-yard line. Second down. Porter still on his feet. Brought down around the 15-yard line. Be a gain of about 5. Third, looks like maybe third and 4. They have it listed as third and 5. Or I should say, I'm sorry, third and 6.
Yeah,
Listed as third and 5.
that's a long 5 yards.
Yeah.
Benton Rangers will call a timeout. 36 seconds to go in the third.
Yeah, the Benton Rangers have called a few more timeouts than the Redbirds in this game. Man, they were calling a lot there at the end of the first half. But hey, if you have them,
can't take them with you to
that's
the
right.
second half.
If you have them, you might as well use them.
Can't take them with you to the second half. So
Clock ticking to 2 o'clock on this Saturday afternoon. Been playing about 2 hours now here in West Frankfort at Johnston Field. Once again, if you're just joining us, this is the WFCN game of the week. As always, we'd like to thank all of the sponsors that make this broadcast possible, including our presenting sponsors, Watermark Auto Group, John A. Logan College, the Print Shop, Black Diamond Harley Davidson, Oasis Power Sports, Kemper CPA Group, Deaconess Illinois Medical Center, and many, many others. We thank you for your support of the WFCN Game of the Week. 36 seconds to go to the end of the third quarter. Benton looking for a touchdown here. Porter looking for a man. He throws it.
That's incomplete. He caught the football, but his feet were not in bounds. So we'll bring up a fourth down.
Porter
Third,
tosses it in the middle of nowhere.
third away. That's a turnover on downs. Frankfort gets it with 25 seconds to go in the third.
Rangers with an 18-0 lead over the Redbirds. It would take a miracle for the Redbirds to get back at this point, but it's football. You never know. And like we saw earlier today in this game, Garrett, uh, we saw a lot of back and forth. But I would assume the Rangers would definitely be a little bit more careful here in the second half as they're only a gain to the 25-yard line. 18 seconds to go in the third quarter.
You got to start showing some urgency if you're West Frankfort. It's a
Yeah.
team that actually takes quite a bit of time. Um, they don't snap the ball quick like some teams, but they're going to have to if they want to get back in this one. Get one more playoff before the end of the third. No, they won't. They won't even get the playoff.
Into the third quarter, it's Rangers 18, Redbirds 0. Garrett, the Redbirds next week, they are facing who? And the Rangers, I know we're going to have the Rangers facing the Pinckneyville Panthers next week on our game of the week.
Yeah, they've got, as you mentioned, Pinckneyville next week. Benton wraps up at home against Harrisburg, and then the Redbirds, as you mentioned, they're back home the next 2 weeks. AJ and then Sparta their next 2 weeks. So they wrap up conference play next week, then get a non-con game against Sparta, who's made some big improvements. Not sure how their game went last night, but I know going into the game they were 3-3. So it's a team that's trying to get into the postseason for the first time in a long time in the Sparta Bulldogs. So, but next week Frankfort with AJ, as you mentioned, will be over there in Pinckneyville with the Panthers and the Benton Rangers.
Redbirds looking for one more win to become playoff eligible. The Rangers already secured their spot to the playoffs, and they are looking to continue their undefeated season and move to 7-0 with a win today over the Redbirds.
It's 16-14, Red Hill leading El Dorado at the half. Red Hill with a victory gets them some playoff eligibility. El Dorado looking for victory number 3 on the season.
Pass to Bennett. in his hands, but incomplete. Well, they didn't lose anything, but that hurts if you're the Redbirds.
Yeah, because he would have had a lot of open space to maybe have something downfield and chance to score. Instead, it's going to be third and long.
Third and 12 for the Redbirds. Looking for a big play here.
Got hit incomplete as he got rid of it. 4 down for the West Frankfort, and they're going to bring out the punt unit again.
Dropped punt. It's going to be Rangers football. Well, that all but puts an end to any hope at all for the Redbirds. 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and Rangers take over, and they just got 15 yards to go to march into the end zone. Snap, Porter hands off to Spencer, brought down shy of the 10-yard line. Here's the snap, hands off to Spencer once again. Still on his feet, powering forward. He'll be short.
He'll move the chains, though.
Yep.
First and goal.
First and goal. Bend Rangers. 10 minutes to go in this football game. Here's the snap. Hands off to Spencer again, and that is a touchdown for the Benton Rangers. They keep on adding to their total. It's now 24-0 Rangers with the lead. 9:44 to go in this game. And Riley Spencer walks it in for the Rangers. Setting up for the extra point. And it is good. 25-0 lead. And Benton puts the final nail in the coffin for this game They will march to 7-0 on the season and remain undefeated. Still 9:44 to bleed out in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, they've looked really impressive, obviously, and marching towards their seventh victory, as you mentioned. And you look at their path towards a potential perfect season. They got Pinckneyville next week, and I I tend to like their chances to get there,
Yeah.
Aaron. I think they're going to get to 9-0. Their biggest test thus far was that 2 week stretch where they had, or it was 2 game stretch over a 3 week period. It was DuQuoin and Nashville. Luckily, they got both of those teams at home.
Hmm.
Both of those teams had a chance, but Benton snuffed it out. And other than that, it seems like this has been the next best opportunity to beat them, and it still has been Benton controlling this game from the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. The Rangers, as you mentioned, Garrett, they'll face the Panthers next week here on the game of the week, and then week 9 they face
Harrisburg,
Harrisburg.
I don't think you listen sometimes.
I think you're right.
I think I just said that. People are going to get mad at me for repeating myself, but it's because I have to for you to hear it for the first
That's
time.
ooh, big tackle from the Rangers there around the 15-yard line. First and 10 for the Redbirds. They'd like to get something here. Here's the snap through the hands.
Getting sloppy the past few
Redbirds.
possessions.
Redbirds getting sloppy at a time when they shouldn't be at all. All the way back to the 1-yard line.
Can't go any further.
Nope. 99 yards to go for the Redbirds. First and 25. Nothing on that. Here's the snap. Looking for a man. Tosses it out.
That's going
Interception.
to be a pick six. Nolan Schaefer, pick six.
31 zip Rangers on the Nolan Schaefer pick six. And just a slew of sloppy plays, and the Redbirds give a free touchdown to the Rangers.
Yeah, they do. Benton Rangers piling on here in the second half, especially here in this fourth quarter.
Oh yeah,
They've really turned it up.
setting up for the extra point, and it's good. 32-0 Rangers. You know, in football, especially high school football, there's three groups of people, Garrett. There's people that come to the games and watch the games. There's people that watch the games online, and there's people that just look at the scores afterwards. You know, sometimes when you're looking at the scores afterwards, you don't get the full story. But the Rangers are gonna, they're keeping on and adding to their total. So yeah, as you said, the fourth quarter is very well could be a time when the Rangers had nearly half their points in this whole game.
Oh yeah, this has been their best period, and been because of their defense. I mean, they've scored twice this period because of the defense really showing up and um, forcing some pressure on Frankfort's offense on that punt. They couldn't get away, and they backed Redbirds up on the doorstep this past time and force a tough pass that gets intercepted. It's been all Rangers in this one.
8 minutes, 19 seconds still to go in this game. Benton Rangers will march their way to 7-0 on the season. There's the kickoff.
Looks like Taylor Fox gets out across the 35.
So we first and 10 Redbirds from the 36-yard line.
Another stop behind the line. Benton's defense is just getting better as this game progresses, Aaron. I mean,
Yeah.
they've been super impressive. This is a Frankfort team that scores a lot of points, and so far, a big goose egg for West Frankfort.
Well, the Rangers have finally found the defense and the offense that they've been playing most of the season. I think at the start of this game, they really weren't finding their, although, they got a couple touchdowns, but they really weren't finding their true rhythm. And, man, they found it here in the fourth quarter, and they're just piling it on.
Maybe got a yard back. 3rd and long. Just got a few unbeatens left. Carterville, Johnston City, they're both 7-0. And these Rangers about to join them, just 7 minutes away. Same play, same result. Handoff in the backfield. That's where Samples is dropped by 3 Rangers that get to him. I mean, when you've got 3 guys getting across the line that quick,
Yeah.
you're really winning the line game.
Oh, yeah.
Rangers have won the line of scrimmage this second half decisively. First half, it was a back and forth battle between the lines, and this half, it's been without a doubt the Rangers in charge. 4th and long. Looks like the Redbirds will punt it away. And they'll go with Fox. And we've got a whistle. They'll have a false start.
So what's already hurt adds another penalty. They'll move back even further. Six minutes on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Redbirds going to punt it away, giving the Rangers another opportunity to add to their total, and that punt goes out of bounds right around the 44-yard line.
Yeah, shy of midfield. So the Rangers in plus territory to begin. And even if you know this rivalry, you know they're going to try to punch another one in here.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? They're going to say,
They're
"Come,
not
come stop me!" Right?
exactly. They're not going to just give free points away or be, oh, it's okay. We'll be nice. There's no there's a lot of competitiveness in this rivalry. And they still got 5:43 to do it,
Yeah,
so
I would. They're going to go after it again.
if it was a minute left, it might be different. But
Fake to the right. Porter rolling, looking. Passes caught by Callie. He's got a first and more down the sideline. Callie's gone. Touchdown, Rangers.
38 zip. Kobe Coweye, another touchdown. Benton Rangers firing on all cylinders in the fourth quarter. Garrett, how many points have they put up this quarter so far?
Well, that's their third touchdown. They're going for their 21st point if they could get this PAT.
Over half of their points in this game scored in the fourth quarter.
PAT up. PAT
Good.
looks to be through.
39 zip. Ranger faithful here in West Frankfort over on the sidelines. They're excited, and they have every reason to be. This game all but over 5:30 left to go. Garrett, well, we got a couple extra seconds. Remind us who all is facing each other next week.
Yeah, we'll go over the schedule real quick because we got our nice grid schedule
That's right.
right on hand.
You
And
know, if you sold that, you'd probably make some money off that.
I like this thing I
It's
type
pretty
up.
neat.
It is. Um, let's see. We'll start with the Black Diamond. Um, Johnston City, we mentioned they're unbeaten. They will head to Red Hill next week. That could be a fun matchup. Red Hill looking pretty good to start the season. Sesser Valier will take on El Dorado. Hamco and Flora will match up. You got Fairfield and CZR, and that rounds out your Black Diamond. River to River, Ohio, it's Carterville at Murphy, Harrisburg at Herrin. In the Mississippi, you'll have AJ at West Frankfort, Benton at Pinckneyville, Nashville at DuQuoin. South 7 will see Cahokia at Collinsville. Then you'll have Mount Vernon at Centralia, Marion at Carbondale.
All good games.
Could be some fun ones. Gonna
Yeah,
have a fun
could be.
time picking our games next week.
Yeah.
Making our game picks. You had the lead in our standings.
I did have the lead, as that'll be a touchback. I did have the lead,
You're
and
still tied for the lead. How's that?
yeah, I'm still tied. I picked, of all the games I looked at last night, I was like, the one game I think that could go different way is the Harrisburg Murphy game. So I went on a limb. I picked Harrisburg. They put up a good fight, but just wasn't enough. So yeah, I'm tied now, unfortunately.
And there's a chance it's going to be me and you tied at the top after today because Drew went out on a limb and went with El Dorado today over Red Hill. So we're currently in a three-way tie, but it looks like it might be me and you.
We'll have to wait and
And
see.
in a distant last place is Quincy King, back by 4 or 5 games, I believe. He went a little too bold on some of his picks.
Yeah.
Another drop back behind the line.
Well,
That's been the story here in the fourth.
Oh yeah, there'll be a. Oh, he's back up. Thought there was gonna be injury for a second, but yeah, there's sometimes though, when you're bold, it can really go your way or it can really not. So
So far for him, it's really not.
yeah. 5 minutes, 2nd and 15. Thanks for sticking around with us here on the game of the week.
A nice change from the trend. A Saturday game. I'm glad we're able to do it.
Brought down quickly.
Looked like there for a while we weren't going to be able to do this, but I'm glad we made it work. And just because some of our other stuff going on, because believe it or not, we don't just sit here and call football games for our lives. So, but I'm glad it worked out because Saturday football is pretty fun, and hoping we get some in the postseason again because we had a fun ride last year.
I love daytime Saturday games, postseason. Let's just,
and you don't have to worry about being too cold and Friday night once the sun.
That's true. I mean, let's hope the weather. Well, you never know once you get into November what the weather could do in the daytime too. But
that's probably going to start plummeting, isn't it?
Yeah, I think our luck's going to run out soon.
We've had a good run.
Yes. Timeout called on the field. Another thanks to the sponsors that make the WFCN game of the week possible. Black Diamond Harley Davidson, Oasis Power Sports, Watermark Auto Group, Legence Bank, First Southern Bank, the Bank of Herrin, Kemper CPA, as well as the print shop in Marion, Wit and Wisdom Boutique.
Score from Red Hill. They're in the third. It's 24-14. Red Hill Salukis leading the El Dorado Eagles. Our other game in action today on this Saturday.
Normally, we like to fill the time by giving you some score updates, but can't do that much today.
Now we went over some finals,
A
and
little bit,
we
yeah.
can touch on some teams. Carterville and Johnston City, the other unbeaten, as we talk of unbeaten since Benton is marching their way towards that, 4-11 away from that. That's the three-headed monster right now in terms of the program sticking with an undefeated record, and it's you hate to say which team you think's the best, but 1 week I think it's Benton, and 1 week I think it's Carterville. It's been back
I
and forth
completely
between those two
understand.
teams.
I'd love to see a game between Benton and Carterville.
If we get one, it'll be
We'll
a
be
nice
there.
postseason game.
We'll be
You're
there.
dang right. We'll be there.
Unless it's at Benton.
Well,
All right, let's go. We got
we'll do what we can, right?
here's the snap.
That looks like Chris Samples again.
4 minutes to go. Chris Samples out, and looks like they got the ref. He's okay though.
Tackle on him.
I think we'll have, no matter what, a lot of interesting postseason games. It's been a while, Garrett, since I know the season's not over yet, but we've even had the opportunity to have three teams go undefeated from Franklin and Williamson counties.
Yeah, you're right. As Frankfort's going to be stopped on a fourth down attempt, the teams I'm looking at, obviously the big names or the storylines are those teams potentially going unbeaten. But as I look at some of these teams, I see a team like CZR, and I can't help but think of what they can do in maybe 1 year, be able to go from winless 2 years in a row, right, and potentially jump into the postseason. They're 4-3, and they've got winnable games coming up. 5 might get them in. 6 would obviously get them in, but man, the fact that the Bearcats that's the one I've looked at all year, and I've thought that'd be a pretty cool story if they were able to complete it.
The Mike Root effect has taken full force in CZR. I'd love to have covered a different. I mean, I know the game we covered was Sesser Valier and 148. I get all that, but I would love to see them in a game, where they didn't have Sesser Valier this year.
Yeah, and you never know. We might
We
come
might, yeah.
postseason time.
We might.
We covered a game over in Christopher last year, and thank goodness for their hospitality that we were inside, or else we would have been drenched, and I think our equipment would have been ruined. So
yeah,
definitely don't mind going there. I mean,
no.
they take care of us there as well.
And thanks to all the different programs and their hospitality this season. West Frankfort for their hospitality today, fitting us in to this. I know West Frankfort always has a little bit of a cramped area, but they make it work. Um, so we want to thank them for letting us broadcast here. And then also last week at Carterville, they always have great hospitality.
Herrin and
Herrin as
Johnston
well.
City always do a great job.
Absolutely.
They make me feel pretty fat. They give us all kinds of food and
flag on the field.
All kinds of snacks. We do have a flag as that ball goes inside the 5-yard line.
That was number 17. like we just got the varsity roster there on our sheet.
And we get to go to a place I don't believe you called a game at. I think I did a few years ago, um, a Frankfort and Pinckneyville game a few years ago that we get
Mm-hmm.
to cover in Pinckneyville. And
Yep.
I'm hoping they bring pizza again. They used to get Joe's Pizza in there.
Yeah.
That's a statement by me. That is not a plug.
Good tackle from the Redbirds there on
Don't want to get you in trouble, Mr. Price.
Brendan Jones. Nah, I'm sure they love the publicity. 2 minutes to go in this game. We're just about done with this game, I should say. I hope we're not just about underway. That's about what I said. I'm like, 149. Here's the snap.
Pass towards the corner of the end zone
Through this.
through the
Yeah.
hands. That was Furlow in the corner.
It'll be a turnover on downs, so Redbirds will take over once again with a little over a minute to go in this game. So the Redbirds going to take a timeout.
I will touch again, Aaron. We talked about how we thought it's a battle between Benton and Carterville on who we think is the best team. I think Johnston City gets that third spot by default. And they've
Yeah,
proven it, but by default, they're undefeated. After that, you're rounding out the top five. I'm trying to look. I'm trying to put something together here. Uh, you would consider Cahokia too far, so I'm not going to go there.
right.
A little too far in
Out of
terms
our
of
coverage area, yes.
proximity.
Out of South 7, if you want to say that,
Yeah,
then
but
yes.
for the sake of the
Yeah,
topic, we'll stick with proximity here. And a team that I like is DuQuoin. They found a way to win ball games, and I think they'd get that spot.
well, DeCoin,
Or you
yeah,
look at Nashville,
yeah,
who's played really good football as well.
they have as well. I mean, DeCoin, Coin is a team that we haven't seen this year on the game of the week, but they're the team the Redbirds saw just last week.
I could see a potential DuQuoin Frankfort first round matchup in DuQuoin. I could see that being a possibility in the postseason. And wouldn't that be a fun rematch
Yeah,
between a couple of good teams?
that would be a good week one potential postseason game to cover if it happens.
I could see it lining up that way, and would obviously make for a possible place to go.
Yep. There's going to be a lot of options though, and I think we'll talk about it, but we'll see what our method will be. There's a lot of things that go into that the public's doesn't understand until you have to set up a broadcast.
Yeah, there's plenty that goes
There's
into it.
Wi-Fi, there's audio, there's space, there's a whole bunch of
All
stuff.
kinds of accommodation
Yep.
and all kinds of things behind the scenes
Hmm.
that a lot of people don't realize. But obviously, we're going to go
We'll go somewhere.
somewhere that works out.
Yep. 38 seconds to go. We'll do a brief Deaconess Illinois post-game show here in a moment. Give out a player of the game. Do a quick preview of next week as well. So that'll be the final. The Rangers move to 7-0 on the season. They're just 2 games away from going undefeated in the regular season with a 39-0 victory over the West Frankfort Redbirds in this rivalry matchup. Drake Porter, Kobe Callie, and Riley Spencer, and many, many others coming through for the Bend Rangers this week. And Garrett, let's go ahead and move in because I know we have limited time here. Let's move into our Deaconess, Illinois post-game show. Go ahead and talk us through our Kemper CPA group by the numbers.
Scoring from today's game will start in the first half. It got going with Benton with 4:42 to go in the first, a 7-yard run from Drake Porter, and 12 nothing at the 9:52 mark in the second. 29-yard run from Riley Spencer. That was the scoring in the first half. Then in the second half, 18 nothing on a 15-yard run from Drake Porter at the 8:07 mark. Then three scores in the fourth. 25 nothing 2-yard run from Riley Spencer. And 32 zip on a pick six at the goal line for Nolan Schaefer. Then 39 nothing 44-yard pass from Porter to Callie. 5:30 to go in the fourth. So Benton really picked it up in the fourth quarter. Had the lead from the jump, but really got it going in the fourth quarter. Those are your Kemper CPA by the numbers.
Thank you very much, Garrett. Now it's time to give out our player of the game. Who do you got?
You know, there's a couple guys you could go with. I'm going to go with Kobe Callie today. Um, Obviously, some big plays, had some big catches early in the game. He had the 44-yard receiving touchdown, had an interception on defense, a real two-way football player. He showed up today. Kobe Callie, player of the game.
All right. Thank you very much, Garrett. And yeah, the Rangers marching to 7-0 on the season. I will say, Garrett, you know, we had, as we mentioned, over half of those points from the Rangers coming in the fourth quarter. Things just kind of fell apart for the Redbirds even more there in the fourth quarter. Redbirds early in this game, they put up a fight as much as they could. They weren't able to find the end zone. They got awfully close once in a while, but 39 zip, the final score. Rangers coming out on top in today's game. We will see them next week as well in Pinckneyville. See a team in the Pinckneyville Panthers we haven't seen yet on the game of the week over at their place next week. And then we'll wrap up our broadcast of the regular season in week 9 at Johnston City. Sesser Red Devils versus the Johnston City Indians with more postseason games to be determined following that. For Drew Smith on the sidelines, Quincy King on the sidelines, Garrett Smith, I'm Aaron Price. Thank you for joining us from Johnston Field in West Frankfort.